And now it's time for Southern California's sports fishing voice. Let's talk hookup. For the next 2 hours, join Pete Gray, rock cod Rick Maxa, and this week's special expert guest for fishing information, new techniques to catch more fish, and the most current scoop on what's happening in the water. Let's Talk Hookup is sponsored in part by Yamaha Outboards, official motor sponsor of Let's Talk Hookup. Royal Polaris, the world's finest long-range sports fisher. By Ford, the official truck of Let's Talk Hookup, and Shimano Rods and Reels. Fish with the best. Shimano. Get ready for the fastest 2 hours on radio with the hosts of Let's Talk Hookup, Pete Gray and Rock Cod Rick Maxa.
Good morning, anglers, and welcome to Let's Talk Hookup. I'm Pete Gray with Rock Cod Rick Maxa, and we're in the mighty 1090 studios with Captain Jim Hughes from the Cortez. And boy, oh boy, to celebrate Thanksgiving, Jim has bought quite a prize today. You just wait till you hear that. So stay tuned. We've got a lot to talk about and a lot of fishing. Southern California's Sport Fishing Voices. Let's Talk Hookup on the mighty 1090. This time of year, the fishing offshore is hit and miss. Some days you struggle, the other days you come home with your limit of yellowfin. Believe me, you never know. But unlike the unpredictability of fishing, you can always count on Ford F-Series pickups. America's best-selling trucks, 39 years and counting. One reason F-150 is so popular with fishermen is the high-strength military-grade aluminum body panels. Chevy, Dodge, and Toyota bodies will all eventually rust, but not F-150. Its body panels won't rust ever. That's pretty important for folks like us that launch boats on a regular basis. And F-150's revolutionary body is bolted to a solid steel frame to make it stronger, more capable, and more efficient than ever. When it comes to trucks, fishermen and fisherwomen can always rely on Ford. And right now is a great time to buy. Special incentives have just been announced. That means bigger savings and lower payments on F-150. Log on to their new website, buyfordnow.com, for all the details. That's buyfordnow.com. Then stop by your nearest San Diego County Ford dealer. They'll be glad to hook you up.
Here's John Ireland for Rancho Leonero.
The ranch is small, It's very personal, very intimate. I don't think there's anywhere else that you could have the old Baja feel and have all the miles of beachfront, the palapa roofs and the stone walls. There's not a room that you don't have some kind of ocean view. You don't give up any amenities at the ranch. It's just very rustic. You know how when you cook outdoors it tastes better? Well, that's Rancho Leonero. It just tastes better. We have paddle boards, we've got kayaks, we've got snorkeling equipment, of course. We've got 12 super pongas. We have dive trips. We've got over 40 kayaks at the hotel. We've got all accurate equipment, very top of the line. And when the fishing's good, we'll freeze your fish, pack it all up, send it home with you. People love it. They'll come back 5-6 times a year. That's the highest accolade we can get. 1-800-646-2252, 646-BAJA. And RanchoLeonero.com. It's unique.
If you are looking for a powerful, smooth, great casting reel at an affordable price, check out the Shimano Torium HG. It's up to 30% smaller than the previous generation, but still has the same line capacity. The smaller S-compact body design and one-piece die-cast aluminum frame provides more rigidity and lighter weight. Torium now has EI surface treatment and is tested up to 700 times the corrosion resistance of past models. The Shimano Torium HG is not only better on the outside, the inside is amazing with a cross-carbon drag, providing up to 24 pounds of drag pressure from a Star Drag reel. It has a sealed roller clutch and 6.2-to-1 brass gears. The machined aluminum handle has a larger knob to make it easy to crank in the big fish. The new lightweight aluminum spool gives you better casting and control. Available in 3 sizes, the Torium HD is the next evolution in compact, rigid, and powerful saltwater Star Drag reels. Get it now at your local Shimano dealer.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090. Going to be a fun show today, man.
Yes, it is. Captain Jim Hughes from the Cortez. Good morning, Jim.
Morning.
Great to have you. You have a good Thanksgiving?
We did. It's still
burping. Yeah, feeling it?
Still burping.
Yeah. What's your favorite part of Thanksgiving meal-wise?
There's no...
The turkey, the stuffing, the mashed potatoes,
It's
gravy?
The whole conglomerate
the whole
of everything.
thing.
Yes,
Everything's
is the
good.
answer.
All right.
Yes.
Mine's the stuffing. I love turkey
Stuffing, yes.
Yeah. That's my number
That's good.
one. What about you,
Mashed
Ricardo?
potatoes and gravy guy.
Mashed
No
potatoes and gravy.
That's me.
Yeah. I'm the guy that skips the mashed potatoes and goes straight for the skunk.
I like you. That might
Yeah,
be
yeah,
That's perfect.
yeah. Leaves you
keep it coming.
more,
Keep
right?
it coming.
Yeah, leaves you more. But anyway, I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving
Totally.
and enjoyed the the family and the festivities and such like that. And now it's time to talk about fishing because there's still a lot of fishing going on, right, Jim?
There is. This little last wind event slowed things down a little bit offshore, but there's still plenty around.
Okay, so we have what would be considered a major wind event for Southern California coming our way here the next
This one's going to be a
hours.
little bit better one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, amazing giant bluefin tuna fishing out on the Tanner Bank there for the last few weeks.
Yep.
Is that going to change?
It might slow it down. It seemed like this one slowed it down a little bit, but the issue is going to be getting squid and the guys being able to fish and in safe conditions and so forth. But there's also yellowfin tuna still.
Amazing.
At their east end of Clemente, Paul on the outer limits just out there, he had 44 fish for his all rent rod charter.
What?
Yeah, on
Which day?
Tuesday.
Yes,
this last Tuesday.
It's not even the middle of the month anymore. It's the end of the month. It's almost December.
After Thanksgiving.
It's so cool.
Yeah, and then you still got your, there's local yellowtail still around, and guys are catching those, and rockfish and stuff. So there's plenty of fishing to be done, but we'll see what this next wind brings.
Yeah.
It's a big one.
Yeah.
Now that stuff's on squid on the Tanner, that big bluefin. If the squid sticks around, will the fish stick around likely?
Well, there's no reason for them to leave.
Yeah.
There's plenty of bait around. That's what they're eating. That fish is almost like fishing rock cod. It's close to the bottom.
That's so crazy.
And then it's the other day. I know the one boat had 2 fish by 6 o'clock in the evening, and then when it got dark, then it was like fishing right on the bottom. 3, 4, 5 ounce glow in the dark sinkers. 7-0 hook like fishing sea bass.
Fishing sea bass.
Yeah, like fishing sea bass, and he
Drop
said
to
they
the bottom,
bite
come up a couple
the same
cranes.
way, just a couple
Tick,
tap,
tick,
tap,
tick,
tap.
tick, tick.
Yep.
And then you got a 100-pounder on.
Yep.
Oh, man.
How cool is that, dude?
Whoa, amazing. Of course, you operate Cortez out of Seaforth Sport Fishing. Tell us about the Cortez.
60 foot by 18 foot. We do 99% charters, usually from basically June until the end of October. Is mostly our charter time. And then we get into our maintenance schedule. I try to get in our maintenance in between being on the Royal in the wintertime, and then start back ready.
You start on the Royal next week.
Yeah, next Saturday.
So how do you get the maintenance in?
Well, we just pick our times and go.
All but.
You've been doing this for a long time, Jim. How long have you been in this business?
Started decking in 1968.
1968. And what's amazing is it's really tough to get Jim on the show because he's working all the time.
Always.
And I got this little window, like right now is the window. It's like, Jim, when can you be on the show? And he gives me this little window, and so we get him in here. And you run pretty much every trip on the boat.
Yes, I do. It's important to the customers. I mean, especially on a charter business, they charter the boat, they charter you just as much.
Yeah.
And I've had customers say, if you're not driving, we're not going. It's that simple.
Wow.
So, I mean, you can't. That's your turnaround point. So
yeah,
so we go.
So you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like doing it. Like I say, I've never had a job.
Right.
That's cool. Yeah, it's more of a passion, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And so how would you size up? You spent a lot of days on the water this summer. How would you size up this summer and fall?
This is the weirdest year I've ever seen. I've never seen as much fish as I've seen this year that didn't want to bite. The surface fishing, I mean, guys, look at the stuff all the way from April, May, June, all that big bluefin around that didn't want to really get with it. I mean, you guys, it was good. We had 18 fish. We had 19 of those big ones. There was 500 times that much around.
Right.
But to get them to bite was just brutal. I mean, we'd walk right up to these schools and see them swimming right alongside the boat.
Jeez.
Those big ones. I mean, it was just amazing.
Yeah.
We had that tuna challenge there, and I had Paul from the Wicked Pissa
Tuna,
on the boat.
Yeah.
And he's looking down at his fish, and he says, these are giants, 80 inches. And what do you mean 80 inches? We don't go by inches. We always by weight. He said, they're 80 inches, 300 pounders,
Really?
Yeah. I mean, there's that kind of fish around. Yeah.
And that was late June.
That was late June.
Unbelievable.
Yes. Yeah. And then, and that fish, it wasn't a problem finding fish for anybody this year.
Right.
It was trying to get them to bite.
Yeah.
And then we had that little, nice setup there at lower in the Clemente, Desperation there for a month or so. And that fish really just hovered around the island it still is,
Yeah.
So that's where it's at.
Mill around, bite a little bit,
Yeah.
but never really
get with it.
Yeah.
I mean, there was always 3, 4 boats that had good days, and that got spread around. It wasn't consistent, So
That's wild.
Amazing year.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
And there was guys that kept on trying to go down below, trying to get something going, and the stuff was up here.
Just never happened.
Just never got really with it,
Right.
not like in years past.
Yeah.
But the volume was there.
Yeah. That's cool.
That's
It was either one of those trips where it was like you could have the trip of a lifetime and catch the fish of a lifetime, or you could catch nothing.
It was good Kodak fishing.
Kodak fishing.
I mean, just think about the number of fish that were 40 pounds and larger.
Yeah.
I mean, the average fish that you caught this year, the average one was a 40 to 50 pounder.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they were.
Yeah, and it really didn't get kind of an eye lift until you got over 100 pounds this year. I mean, 100 pounders in local waters, right?
If next year they're all 25 pounders, I'm worried.
Yeah, we're spoiled.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah. So how does one charter the Cortez? Somebody wants to book a trip. I know you have a very loyal clientele that book a year in advance. They just get off the boat and they book right away.
Exactly, and I try to get the guys that have been with me for a long time all settled in, nested in for the next year, and then when we have some open dates or whatever, the newer groups, and then we get probably 8 or 10 more calls for chartering the boat, going into summer. Mm-hmm. We try to fill them in, and sort of works out that way. And then, plus Seaforth, they have some trips going. And then whatever open days we have, we didn't book a charter. We try to put it online for open party trips.
Open party trips.
Yeah.
Which doesn't happen very often.
We had 4 this year.
You had
4
open parties.
4 days where you weren't chartered.
Right.
Wow. So if somebody wants a charter, somebody wants to take, and what's a perfect size group for the Cortez?
Most of my groups are 15 to 17.
Nice.
We can take up to 23, but I think most of the groups, like I say, are 15, 17, 18 tops. It works out good for the group. Yeah.
Super comfortable.
That's right.
Super clean, top of the line, well running boat. You do all the maintenance, and it's like you're meticulous about that.
We keep you go out there, and all the guys should, in the fleet. You're not buying a part out there.
No.
So you try to keep your boat running 100%. You lose a trip, it's brutal.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's.
Try to keep everything in running order, keep it clean, and make the customers happy. And worry about the group you got on the boat that day.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And so somebody wants to book a trip, they just call C4 Sport Fishing?
They can call Seaforth or call me or look on our website.
Okay.
And get the phone number right on there also.
Website is what?
Cortez Fishing Charters.
CortezFishingCharters.com.
Right.
All right. Very good. Yeah. So any idea about this coming year? Everybody wants to make predictions as we wind the year down. I mean, it's supposed to be cooler water year, everybody.
Everybody wants albacore.
Yeah, so
period. Even though we've had outstanding bluefin fishing,
sure.
outstanding yellowfin fishing, everybody wants albacore.
Yeah.
The water setup this year was fine.
Yeah.
The water setup was perfect on the outside. Most of the guys never fished outside the 118 line until they got up here by Clemente. But outside down below, that water was 64.5 to 66 degree water, blue, plenty of bait in it. They just didn't make their right turn low enough. So
who knows?
Up above.
Right?
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah.
All I know for sure is if you see those guys up north of Point Conception catching albacore by July 1st, we're not going to get any.
Okay.
If we get any, it's going to be like what the producer had too.
Yeah, exactly. They got them both.
Yeah. Albacore season was on a Wednesday,
So if we start seeing counts up above Point Conception
before we get on it, it's
gone.
It's the chances are
you're going to have to fly to Washington to get your albacore.
Looks like it. Yeah. Boy, it's sure been up there for a while.
Yeah, interesting.
I would love an albacore season. That being said, I'll take what we keep having. Just
the
last couple years, you keep it coming. No problem.
And that doesn't mean that bluefin's going to go, because that bluefin gets mixed in with that albacore.
Sure.
We've had a lot of excellent bluefin fishing along with albacore fishing.
Yeah.
You might not get the Dorado up here. You're going to catch some yellowfin, but it's not, a cold water year is a cold water year.
Yeah. We'll settle for what we have.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
We're very, very fortunate the last 20 or 30 years to catch what we catch.
Yeah. So now you're headed in the long range season, running the Royal Polaris with the boys.
I'll be on there.
And Roy and
Jonathan and Roy, and hopefully Frank gets out there.
And Big D and the gang.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's
fun.
And how does that change your life? What do you just love that big fish fishing?
It's fun. It's fun that, you see that a lot of the guys that come out even in the summertime on 1, 2, 3 day trips, And then you get out there with those guys, and it's, a little bit bigger equipment. You're fishing a little bit different. You got anywhere from 10, 11, 12 days on an 18-day trip to get on some fish, and then watch these guys just get mauled. It's fun,
Yeah.
It is.
Fun watching people hurt themselves.
No, they're not hurting themselves. And most of the time, if they're hurting themselves that bad, they're passing it off.
Let Big D pull on it, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, for sure. Ricky, you're almost there.
Yeah, we're out of here Monday
morning,
yeah.
right?
I can't wait.
Is your stuff all packed up?
No, but it will be today. Today's my day off. Just how it goes, working busy and getting everybody else's gear ready. Day after Thanksgiving is traditionally a crazy huge day down at the tackle store because every boat's in for Thanksgiving, and it lived up to what it is, and so get everybody, all the buddies hooked up and out the door, and I got today off to get all my stuff together.
Yeah, and the Star kind of lets the craziness settle down, and then jump on the boat and head down there.
Exactly, yeah. Let the craziness of the day after subside, and then we'll hop on Monday and start making our way down, and hopefully by then some excellent catch reports of Point South will be filtering in, and Tim will decide which direction to point the boat, and away we go.
Yeah, there you go. So, Jim, this year, as we know, bait was small. And thank goodness we had the bait from the Everingham brothers, and Buck and his gang did such a great job providing what they could. But small bait this year. Now that kind of changes things on the long range boats, right?
Yeah, it does. It does. It makes the crew. We got to fish for bait, bigger bait later on. Where we can get it. But even the small bait, even the sardines. The sardines down there work good. That's it. It's really, really good. It's not like years before where we're trying to fish with anchovies on 60 pound.
Yeah.
You just can't do it. And even the sardines can pull this line out. But, we end up having to fish, trying to catch some squid down there, a big squid, fishing mackerels, 2 mackerels, whatever we have to fish for. Fish at nighttime and try to get as much bait as we can.
But you still fish that little sardine.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Fish that stuff on 100 pound and 130 pound?
When you're fishing it, that way Wahoo's fishing's been this year has been off the hook. So,
yeah.
That bites it. Guys been fishing the jigs and so forth. And that big tuna down there, that's yet to be seen as far as that. You got to flying fish at nighttime.
Yeah.
Try to get as many of those as you can. So
it's going to be difficult, no doubt, because it's small. But the thing we got going for it is, for the most part, it's healthy.
Yeah.
It's small sardine, but it's strong sardine.
Really good.
Yeah. So it's going to be tough. But what do? You put a hook on it and you deal with it. And sometimes you got to go through 4 or 5 before you get a really strong one. And he pulls some heavy line off the reel, and next thing you know, you get a bite. I was up at Ken's Custom Reels yesterday. I had to drop a reel off to an emergency reel repair. I pulled one out of the bag. It wasn't working. I dropped one off to Wes, and Ken had just got off a trip on the angler, and he said that's how it was, that you had to go through a lot of baits to, sometimes get the right one. But he said as long as you kind of knew that going in, you'd cast your bait out and, nope, this is the one. Cast another bait out. Nope, that's not the one. Cast your next bait out. Not try and just blindly pull line off your reel and hope that one bites it. Just keep going through. And all of a sudden your bait hits the water and like, oh man, what a difference this bait is. And every time you had that one that you knew was going to get a bite, it got a bite.
Yeah. Wow.
You can feel it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Get the feel for sure. Well, as you can hear, we have a great show lined up for you today, and what a gift Jim has brought in for our listeners
You're not
today
kidding,
to celebrate
right?
the beginning of the holidays.
Yeah, well, we're just so stoked to have Captain Jim in here. Just like Pete said, a guy works all the time, always fishing, so tough to get him in here. But, boy, we're just so pumped. It's going to be a lot of fun. And, yes, a great prize for sure. One lucky caller at the end of the show today is going to get to go fishing on board the Cortez. And what an opportunity it is to going on a day and a half or a 2.5. Basically, you're going on an open party trip on the Cortez schedule. And as you heard, those trips kind of get settled in after the charters are done, so there'll be a sprinkling of open party trips. But you're going to get to take your pick on any open party trip, a day and a half or a 2.5 on the Cortez. How cool is that?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Pretty awesome. A day and a half, 2-day trip, whatever it is on the schedule.
Sure.
2.5 days.
Whatever happens, we put online. They want to jump on it, it's fine.
But you better jump on it quickly.
Yeah, and, we'll get the phone number, whoever's the lucky winner, and we'll keep them posted.
That's awesome.
All right.
That's so cool. Well, again, you want to get your opportunity to go fishing on the Cortez, which is such a treat because it's so much fun to fish with Jim and the boys. There's 2 ways you can be a part of Let's Talk Hookup this morning. The first is with our local line. That's 858 area code 457-1090. Again, 858-457-1090. Or you can call us toll-free, and that toll-free number is 877-792-1090. 1090. One more time, 877-792-1090. When we come back, we're going to be answering your phone calls. Lots of great fishing information coming your way. You stay tuned. You're listening to Southern California's sport fishing voice. It's Let's Talk Hookup with the mighty 1090.
You can catch more lobster and pull deeper with the Ace Line Hauler. It's faster, so you can get those bugs in the boat. Now the Ace Line Hauler is better than ever with a Bulldog hands-free accessory. It pulls your hoops hands-free and even coils your line. If you're not yet on the Ace Line Hauler team, you must like sore arms. Get the Ace Line Hauler and make lobster and crab hooping more fun and productive at selected dealers or check acelinehauler.com.
Fisherman's Landing is the top choice in local and long-range fishing. Hi, this is Doug Kern. Our hard-working crew is always looking for ways to improve your fishing experience. We offer the finest open party trips from 1 to 3 days, the best charter boats available, and of course, our world-renowned long-range fleet is second to none. We are proud to say Fisherman's Landing is now a full-service sport fishing operation, offering half-day trips on the Dolphin, and now, for the first time in the long history of Fisherman's Landing, we have 3-quarter-day open party trips on the Liberty. We built the Liberty specifically to offer a better experience. Run by veteran captain Taro Takeuchi, the 85-foot Liberty is the first open party 3-quarter-day boat to offer bunks for your comfort. She also has huge bait capacity and RSW fish holds to keep your catch fresh. Plus, Liberty has a big galley and 2 interior heads with showers. Our open party trips from half-day, 3-quarter-day, or 1 to 3 day trips can be easily booked online at fishermanslanding.com or give us a call at 619-221-8500. I'll see you at Fisherman's Landing in San Diego.
The Sport Fishing Association of California is taking a leadership role to broaden the fishing opportunities for Southern California anglers. And Saturday, December 10th, Pete Gray will be traveling to Cabo San Lucas, Mexico with the president of SAC, Captain Ken Franke, and his staff to host a very important live broadcast from Pueblo Benito Rose Resort in Cabo. The broadcast will feature some key personnel from Mexico Fisheries and help strengthen ties with the sport fishing fleet in Southern California and Mexico. They will also discuss the great fishing opportunities available in Cabo San Lucas. SAC's mission is to promote tourism through marine recreation and educational activities while protecting ocean resources. By working together with Mexico, we can show our care for the resources both at home and across the border, and our desire to take an active role to help protect the future of our fisheries. So mark your calendar for Saturday, December 10th, a very special live broadcast from Cabo San Lucas, Mexico, with the Sport Fishing Association of California. Check CaliforniaSportFishing.org for more information. Have you been looking for a live bait hook that keeps live bait alive? Look no further than Japan's leading fish hook, Gamakatsu. It's the little things that make the difference, and Gamakatsu hooks drive the point home with an absolute perfect bend and ideal barbs. Your bait swims harder and longer, and when you get bit, Gamakatsu hooks bite back with a vengeance. All hooks are not the same. Go with Gamakatsu for infinite success. Gamakatsu, simply the best. Check Gamakatsu.com.
When you put on a pair of Maui Jim sunglasses, the world begins to look different. Colors are more vivid. Contrast is clearer. Details are crisper. Wherever your vision leads you, beauty follows. With polarized lenses that eliminate glare and enhance color, Maui Jim sunglasses won't change the world. They'll change the way you see it. Color, clarity, detail. Maui Jim.
Fifth Avenue Insurance has a new name. It's Snap Insurance, still providing anglers and boaters with the best in boat insurance and the lowest rates. The experts at Snap Insurance will make sure your boat and property are covered right. Traveling to Mexico? Snap has you covered. You can even work with your agent to wrap your home and auto with your boat policy to save even more. Call them for advice on your current boat policy or any of your insurance needs. Snap Insurance, 800-527-6617 or snapins.com. That's SNAPPINS.com.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the mighty 1090. Phones are packed up again if you want to get through 858-457-1090 or 877-792-1090.
All right, let's go ahead and jump into those phones. They're already packed up. They want to talk to Jim, and they want to go fishing on the Cortez.
No doubt about that. Well, why don't we start it off this morning with John, who's calling us from Lakeside. Good morning, John. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hi, John.
Good morning, John.
Good morning, Pete. Good morning, Rick. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning, John.
Hey, I've had the opportunity to fish on your boat, Jim, and I know this summer you have those new bait tanks on there, and I'm just curious if you see a difference in those tanks as opposed to the tanks that were on the boat previous?
Oh, absolutely. The round tanks, yeah. Bait's living better. We can actually put more bait in them.
Yeah.
And we reduced from 4 tanks to 3 tanks, so it gave us more deck space back there. But, no, I think it's one of the best things I've done.
Bait's living better. You hold more of it, and you got more
and
room.
it lives longer.
That's sweet.
You know, I mean, we had bait on there the whole summer. I mean, we've always had 1 or 2 tanks full.
Okay.
Wow. Now you have a slammer, too?
We have 2 slammers also.
2 slammers also. You
2
can
round
put bait in them, too?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, we do.
Wow. So you're truly long range.
Well, no, I wouldn't say long range, but, you know, we try to keep up with the Joneses here.
2.5 day worth of bait is no problem.
Oh, yeah. No, that's not an issue.
Is that the longest trip you do, a 2.5?
Yes. We've done some 3.5s before, but this year was 2.5. So.
Well, hopefully I get to fish on your boat one extra time this year, and I really appreciate all you do for us there, Jim.
You got it. Thank you for calling.
Thanks a lot for the call this morning. All right, Captain Brandon Hayward, what's up, Captain Lobster?
Hey, good morning. How is everyone? Long time.
Yeah,
well,
great.
This time of the year it's Captain Lobster. Other times of the year it's Captain Seabass. Other times of the year it's Captain Bluefin. You know.
Oh, yeah.
He covers all gambits, right?
Well, as long as the boat's moving, you can call me anything you want, right?
I'll bet this Thanksgiving weekend you're Captain Kid.
I am.
Captain Dad?
Exactly. And we got a little weather coming here. But I just wanted to give a little report and put it out there that we have some openings here next month if anyone wants to fish or come out for Christmas lobsters or New Year's lobsters. And all 3 of those things that you mentioned in the last week we've caught. We've had sea bass to 69 pounds, had a 64-pounder on that Catalina squid we brought into the beach. Fished that Tanner one night, I should say, for just flat-out wide-open fishing. And some monster yellows at Clemente on the way home. And then the lobster program's steady. You know, it's not like it was the last 2 years where you can just kind of drop it in the deep water and load up. In fact, the zones that I fished the 2 years prior kind of don't have anything, and they're kind of scattered in shallower water. But we've had limits more than 90% of our trips. So everything's going good. I just want to put a little plug out there if anyone's looking out to get out before Christmas. We got spots.
So explain how a trip with you, your lobster trips work on your 23-foot Parker that you run and run over there.
I've been running a lot of them on the center console.
Oh.
It's just a great, that maritime that we have. It's just a really good platform for that. That boat's based in Dana Point, and we've been leaving at 1 or 2 in the afternoon or a little bit earlier if guys want to fish, and then coming back a little bit after midnight.
That's cool.
And, you know, if it's a tougher night, we definitely stay later and try to grind it out and get to that number as long as participation is high.
How's the season been for you?
It's good. I think we haven't had limits on 4 trips, and we've ran like 50 or 48 or something like that. So overall, it's been really good.
That sounds okay.
Do you still have the limit guarantee?
I stopped doing that.
I was smart, yeah.
I'm not scared of going out there and trying to get limits, and if I have a good group, I'll always grind it out. I'll do it until gray light if everyone's into it, and that's what it takes. I just found that it's kind of hard not to begrudge a guy when you go out and you need 28 for limits and you get 26 and you say, let's go in, and 2 guys start cheering because they came up 1 short each of limits. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And my whole thing is it's kind of about the destination or the journey as much as the destination. And I just feel like some people were kind of like rooting to not get limits so they could get the free trip, and they're losing out on the fact that they're out in a beautiful place catching nice lobsters with their buddies, you know?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. But, and that's the thing is, going hooping at Catalina is like no other. It's just an amazing place to do
spot.
it. It's beautiful, and the lobster are beautiful there. And I don't know what it is about those Catalina lobsters. They taste better.
They do.
No, they're great. And as you guys know, everything I do has a little twist to it. So you can always jump on the island and grab lunch or dinner or whatever. I try to make that a wintertime experience.
It is a fun time. I've done it with you several times. I can't wait to do it again. We need to book a date.
I know, right? And how crazy, obviously you almost just glossed over that crazy fishing you've had this year. How crazy of like you say, go in and catch a big tuna and then slide back into the beach and get a sea bass or catch a giant yellow and then that evening catch a limit of lobsters. I mean, it's just crazy what's been going on this year. So much opportunity.
So much opportunity. And as anyone who knows who kind of like makes their living in fishing, it's just been such a long, like, quote, never-ending season. So it's hard to kind of drum people up right now, even though it's just what's going on is incredible. I mean, going over to Clemente and hooking 40-plus pound yellowtail and hooking, 6 or 7 to get one.
Whoa!
And just overall, it's really a special fall. But I think a lot of people just kind of like ran out of their fishing bankroll, or this is always a tough time to try to get out.
Yeah, well, time to get out. If you want to go out fishing with one-man charters, Captain Brandon Hayward, how do we do it, Brandon?
You could give me a call, 949-212-0719, or you could go to my website. We have a little open party schedule up there. I think December 17th and December 23rd are open parties that we have coming up here. But,
nice.
If there's a couple guys who want to go and they don't have a group of 4 or 3 or whatever, we can always kind of build something around them. So I appreciate the time, and if anyone wants to get out, let me know.
OneManCharters.com, right?
Yeah, thanks for that.
All right, Brandon. Hey, have a great holiday season. We'll see you in the studio here in January and talk about the Bite Journal, right?
Yeah, looking forward to that.
The new one.
It'll be out. So
right.
Thanks again for your time, and have a great weekend.
All right, you too. All right, that guy has more going on.
Oh,
almost as much going on as Jim Hughes. Almost.
I think he's got a little bit more going on. He's in and out every night.
Yeah, he does a lot, for sure. And then he does the journal, too,
yes.
which has just been an amazing piece of literature.
I can't wait for the next one. That has been so rad. That's about my favorite.
Let's jump into the phone.
You got it, man. Well, they are literally packed solid. Everybody wants to talk to Jim, and why don't we do just that? We're going to jump back into the phones and talk to Dan, who's calling us from Encinitas this morning. Hi, Dan. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hey, morning, guys.
Dan?
Morning, Dan.
Question for Jim. You had 2 calling it, and I'm thinking about going PL68, and you go single or treble hook on that?
On a PL68?
Yeah.
We like the single hook. Absolutely. Well, I know those won't come off. The fish don't come off those.
And not just a single hook, but I mean, not
big,
a sidewalk.
No.
You don't want to cut your treble hook off
right.
and put like a Wahoo style hook on there. You want a big, real deal
hook.
Big 7691, 10-0, like a big one.
The real big one.
Yeah, you need a big hook, and you need one that's going to stick, something that has a barb on it.
Ah.
Don't put one of them. You make sure you get one with a barb on it.
Big barb.
Yeah.
That's it, for sure.
Are you doing those trips this spring?
I don't know yet. We're just going to see what my schedule is going to be on the Royal and so forth. I'm trying to get the work out to where I can get the boat hauled out in January, get our bottom stuff done. I want to be ready to rock and roll come April.
Those things give us an early shot again in April.
Yeah,
you want to be getting on.
We want to be going.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, thanks a lot for the phone call this morning.
All right, with that, it's time to find out what's biting in the Baja. It's time for our catch report with the cast man, Richard Castaneda from Cast Tours. Today, the catch report sponsored in part by Fisherman's Processing in San Diego. Fisherman's Processing is San Diego's finest, and that's why they're known as the Fish Pros. Once you try them, you'll be hooked. They'll fillet and vacuum pack your fish to your specs, as well as offer the best smoked fish, jerky, and the famous tuna burger. Check fishermansprocessing.com for more details, or see them when your trip returns to the landing. Let's talk to the cast man. Find out what's biting in the Baja. Buenos dias, cast man.
Hey, buenos dias, everybody.
Cast man.
I just had Brandon on, and I'll tell you, he's quite the fisherman, but he's also quite the writer. He's got a couple of great magazines out there, The Bite, B-I-G-H-T, and, man, he's got some load of information in those magazines that he writes. But
we're waiting for him to do a feature article on the cast man and his travels.
Well, it'll probably take a few volumes, but but yeah, no, they're really interesting articles he gets in there that he puts in there. But anyway, gosh, the fishing down in Cabo seems to be the real hot spot there, San Jose del Cabo and Cabo. But let's jump over to Ixtapas y Montenejo. That's the great winter destination for us. We send a lot of people down there starting now all the way through the spring. And that's really kicking off just on time again as usual. Sailfish are in. Gosh, there's a lot of Dorado in there too. For some reason this year there's been quite a few. Not quality fish, 30, 35-pound fish. A few marlin mixed in the mixer, and the blue water's out about 15 miles. But as we get in a little bit more into the winter, you're going to see that blue water just outside the harbor. So you've only got a 10, 15-minute run, and you're into the fish. So great winter destination. Down in Cancun there. The El Cid Marina, reporting from there, of course, our good friend Larry Edwards of Cortez Yacht Charters gives us the reports there. And another great winter-spring fishing destination. A few sails in the mix, those big giant Atlantic Barracuda and the King Mackerel. That's this winter fishery that goes on down there at this time of year. But, still the hot spot is San Jose del Cabo, especially fishing the inner and outer Gorda Bank. And then up and around in the Sea of Cortez there at the Iman, San Luis, Vinorama area. Still lots of tuna in there. Wahoo are still in there in good numbers. There's some fabulous fishing going on in that whole region there. And, of course, there's blue and black marlin and striped marlin there also. Kind of a notable catch. A guy hooked into about a 35-pound tuna and was battling it, trying to get to the boat when they saw the huge black marlin just came in and inhaled it. They fought it for 30, 35 minutes. The thing was peeling line and going down to the depths and coming up. And the Pagero, man, he's got that thing wide open chasing this doggone marlin. And finally, after, like I say, 30, 35 minutes, the line went slack, and then it went tight again. And anyway, what happened, the guy finally got the tuna onto the boat, and it was still alive, even after this long battle with this black marlin.
Wow.
Yeah, quite a story. Quite a story. Crazy. But, I'm telling you, though, right now, San Jose del Cabo is on fire. It's really, really coming on really strong this fall. But anyway, that's the report for this week. Just a reminder, I got 2 spots open on our Pesca Panama trip the end of March, and it'll be either a single or 2 fishermen. If you got a buddy that wants to come on that particular trip, and then, of course, we'll be announcing our 2017 trips here pretty soon. They'll be going out via email, and I'll announce it on the radio also as soon as I get those dates fixed in. And anyway, give us a call at Cast Tours at 800-593-6510, or check us out on the web at www.casttours.com. And Pete, I'll talk to you next Saturday.
Okay, Cass, man.
Cass.
Look forward to that. And glad you had such a good holiday. And we'll talk to you next Saturday. Appreciate that report from the Cass, man.
Cool. All right. Well, the phones are packed up. We're going to jump right back into them. If you want to get through, 858-457-1090. The only line open right now. Let's talk to Harry calling us from La Jolla this morning. Hi, Harry. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Good morning. How are you all?
Hi, Harry.
Good morning, Harry.
I fished for albacore when they were last around, and we used live bait. What is the difference between if the albacore show up this year? How will we fish for them differently from yellowtail or yellowfin? I'm sorry. And what kind of lure would we possibly be using?
Well, you're not going to fish for them much different. We'd like to have anchovies. The albacore showing up. They seem to like those a lot better, but the sardines work just fine. As far as lures, wow, there's been probably 10 or 15 really good lures come out since the last albacore was caught. So, I imagine them flat balls are going to work absolutely excellent. I think those Colt snipers will be I think everything that's been working here in the last 8-10 years, as far as jigs or lures that you drop and wind back up, are going to work just fine.
If a yellowfin tuna will eat it, then an albacore is going to eat it, right?
10 will try to eat it.
10 will eat it, yeah. They're just a more voracious fish.
Yeah, they want to eat, regurgitate, eat. They got places to go. They're cold water. They're trying to keep their bodies warm. They eat a lot.
Yeah.
They grow fast.
Small flat fall on the slide.
Yeah, you got it.
Boy.
Yeah. The rubbers on the slide in the past work great. I imagine the flat falls are just going to be dynamite.
Crush them.
And they won't be biting them off either.
No. What is it about albacore season? Okay, so they're colder water fish. As we progress more into August, it's less likely that the albacore are going to stick around. Or we've had?
Oh no, we've had albacore. We've had albacore all the way into October.
Into October.
Yeah, we've had fish all the way into December.
Yeah.
I remember leaving on an 18-day trip. Our first day out, we had 140 albacore.
Wow.
On a Royal.
That was a cold water year.
Cold water year.
Cold water year.
Before we found out nobody wanted to keep them, but we kept them. So.
Wow.
No, we've seen albacore from late June all the way through into December. I'd say primarily it's the old firecracker thing and Labor Day from July 4th to September.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I would say it extends on either side of that.
All right.
They're going to get with it, and you're going to have bluefin on the front side of that and the back side of that.
Okay. Or maybe right through it.
Oh, right through it.
Yeah, we'll take that. Hey, thanks a lot for the call, Harry. Appreciate that very much. Phones are packed up, but that did free up a toll-free line at 877-792-1090. Giving away a 1.5-day to 2.5-day trip, whatever is open party schedule on the Cortez
Cool
out of
that.
Seaforth Sport Fishing. Really
That's
generous
awesome.
thing that Jim does, because I'll tell you, he's going to sell those spots anyway.
Exactly.
So, yeah, it's
No need to do that. That's cool.
Yeah, very, very nice of you, Jim. Thank you.
All right, well, let's next up talk to John. He's calling us from San Diego this morning. Hi, John. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Hi, John.
Hey, good morning and Thanksgiving, guys.
Happy
Thanksgiving, John.
Captain Jim, I wanted to ask you about some of the more common mistakes or errors you see your anglers make and how they can go about correcting those mistakes.
As far as mistakes, first of all, line. I see more guys bring on old line than anything. Your line's the cheapest thing you're going to pay for from the time you book your trip to the end of your trip. And having fresh line, I can't emphasize enough. That's a big mistake of bringing in old line. Oh, it's only a year old.
Or I only used it once.
I only used it once.
Yeah,
that kind of stuff. That's why a lot of guys are putting Spectre on and then putting a top shot of mono on. That way, it's not as expensive to change out. Your Spectre's we don't know how long Spectre lasts, but line, hook sizes, hooks themselves, tying, not asking the crew for any help, and I've seen it hundreds of times where guys, I've been fishing a long time, and this is the way I've done it, this is the way I've worked in the past. Just because it worked in the past doesn't mean it's going to work now. Check and see what the latest is. Ask the crew what's going on. Don't hesitate. Every crew member should be more than welcome to. They want to catch fish just as much as you do, if not more so. So they're going to try to help you do with everything.
You learn so much.
Oh, I mean, they're out there every day. It's a wealth of information that you need to ask, and don't be afraid to ask. I've taken rent rod charters, and we've gone out. We had 3 rent rod charters this year. We had limits on all 3 trips with just rent rods. And it's just because you get them all rigged up, you get them set up, you get them ready, dialed in the way we like to have it. And it's not to say the other guys, it takes sometimes time to change. This is the way I did it. This is the way I'm going to keep doing it until I see something different. Well, sometimes some of those guys that run boats do it the same way,
Sure.
But we have to see what's going on and ask the crew. The biggest mistake is, like I said, lying and not asking the crew on what's
hints
going on.
there. Good tips. Hey, thanks a lot for the phone call this morning.
All right, when we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. Phone lines are absolutely packed. The only line open right now is that local line, 858 area code 457-1090. We got more Let's Talk Hookup with the man, Jim Hughes. You're listening to Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090.
Turner's Outdoorsman, Southern California's #1 shooting, hunting, and fishing tackle retailer since 1971, is right in your neighborhood. Now 18 stores throughout Southern California and 3 in San Diego County. Turner's Outdoorsman brings you the best prices and selection, plus a knowledgeable staff that will help make your day on the water or in the field more fun. Stop by your neighborhood Turner's Outdoorsman. To find the location nearest you, check the web at turners.com and sign up for special deals and more.
This is Greg Stotesbury from AFCO. For more than 58 years, the American Fishing Tackle Company has been recognized as the premier manufacturer of precision-built offshore fishing tackle. AFCO continues this tradition today with an innovative technical fishing clothing line designed and built by fishermen for fishermen. From our next-generation waterproof shorts like Tactical or Stealth to our new anhydrous waterproof jacket and bibs, the entire AFCO clothing line is purpose-built with the latest AFTEC fabrics and features designed to deliver for the demanding angler. To find AFCO products, go to AFCO.com and find a dealer near you.
It's time to talk about great stuff from Shimano. And, we talked about albacore. I think it's going to happen next year. And you better be prepared, because when they come, they're going to come hard. And you need a Trinidad 14 and a matching Terramar rod.
I'm in with that. Like Jim said, there's nothing better to fish an albacore than a live anchovy, and that thing is going to really shine. Trinidad 14A hasn't even been around while the anchovy was a thing, and I said the same thing. A crazy lightweight spool. It's a star drag reel, so you just have spool running on bearings. It weighs nothing but still has torque and power. It's going to be such a good light bait fly line reel that still has the power to deal with a big fish. I can't wait.
No question about it. And if you like spinning, there's nothing like a Shimano bait runner. Shimano bait runner is probably caught more albacore than all of them put together through the years. But check it out at your local Shimano dealer. Shimano makes the reels to catch albacore.
If the fish are biting, I'm on my boat, rain or shine. Of course, I wear my life jacket. It's like wearing a seatbelt. Clip it on, grab my tackle box, and hit the water.
Love California, vote California, save California. A message from California State Park Division of Boating and Waterways.
When it comes to fishing rods for saltwater, there's just one name you need to know, CalStar. Take, for example, the Graphiter series. It's a true graphite and fiberglass composite rod, the finest it's ever been built. And for anglers seeking traditional performance, durability, and quality at an affordable price, the CalStar West Coast series of rods and blanks are the ones for you. Their master craftsmen bring decades of rod building experience to every rod they make. So if you want your fishing rods to be truly state-of-the-art, I always recommend CalStar at fine tackle stores everywhere.
XEPRS 1090 AM, Rosarito, Baja California.
The best NFL coverage is right here. San Diego's sports leader, the mighty 1090.
Welcome back to Let's Talk Hookup on the mighty 1090.
All right, Jim Hughes from the Cortez having a great time here talking fishing. Seaforth Sport Fishing. Let's talk for a second about Seaforth. What a fishy place that is.
No doubt.
We've brought in some good tackle people. John and Frank have done a good job in the office, and then all the crew up there. Then we brought in a lot of boats. Seaforth used to own all the boats, and then my boat came down, and then a couple other boats. Now Seaforth has the Sea-Watch and the new Seaforth.
Yep.
And primarily a half day and 3/4 day. Booger runs a 3/4 day of the islands, and then. And I think we have 13 or 14 overnight boats or other boats, plus a couple six-packs.
Yeah, pretty
well run.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. John Yamati's amazing, and look at that kid he brought up, too.
Wow, kid's
Jonathan on the
you couldn't get a word out of that kid when he was growing up, him and his brother. Boy, hell no, he's got it now. He's got it. He's doing a great job on the Royal, and I see bright future for him. He's just, he's got it. He gets it.
The cool thing about Seaforth is people have been there for years.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Mike
Dogger, Marcos, and all those guys.
Mike and John and myself. I was working there. They'd come out fishing. This is back in high school days.
Yeah.
And they'd come out fishing, and now Billy Golder's been around. He does a lot of the maintenance stuff around there now as far as the buildings and stuff. So there's a lot of us have been together for a long time.
Yeah. And free parking.
And lots of it.
Lots of it, yeah.
We used to have a nice football field out there, but it's gone now. I like to say I'm on my third building there.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Not a lot of people could say that.
Yeah,
that's cool.
It's a great spot, and that's you book your trips either through your website or right through Seaforth Sport.
Right, they take care of it. They ask for my open days. I put the open days in there, and they see if we want to go online or if they got a charter that's interested, or they call me or let me know.
When are you going to come out with your schedule for 2017?
Probably won't be until January.
Yeah. Little maintenance, get that all together.
You got it.
All that stuff.
That way I'll know where I'm at as far as being able to ready rock and roll in April, whatever, because we got to do some maintenance on the Royal and stuff, and that'll come in May, so late May. So.
Very good. All right, phones are packed. Let's jump into it, Rick.
You got that, man. Let's talk to Randy. He's calling us from Costa Mesa this morning. Randy, good morning. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Well, thanks, guys. Good morning, and
happy
Randy. Thanksgiving.
You too,
Happy
Randy.
Thanksgiving.
Hey, Jim, I had a question. I've been fishing with my dad since, the early 70s probably, and we used to fish a boat out of, I think it was H&M Landing called the Cortez. Is that the same boat? And can you give me some history on your boat?
No, out of Fisherman's Landing. It was
Fisherman's Landing.
Yes. Dean Adams had it over there at Fisherman's Landing. He ran it out of there. And then Mike Burst bought it, and he ran it out of there for a couple of years, and then moved it up to Dana Point. It ran out of there for a couple of years, and then I bought it in '96. I've had it ever since. So, but
great. And what kind of boat is it?
It's a Seaway. Yeah, there's the Endeavor's a sister ship to it, the same hull along with Relentless, and then the two bigger Seaways are the Dominator and the Aztec. Used to be the Pacific.
Okay.
So
great. Well, sure is a nice boat from what I remember.
Seaways built up there in Costa Mesa.
Right in Costa Mesa.
That's cool.
Yeah, Southern California boat.
Yep.
It's lived its whole life here.
Oh, yeah. Hasn't left.
Caught a lot of fish.
Yeah.
That's cool.
All right, Randy, thanks a lot for the call. Good history there.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, how about next up we talk to Gus. Gus calling us from Burbank. Hey, Gus, welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Yo, you guys. Yo, everybody.
Morning, Gus.
Hey, I'd like to ask you about your schedule for 2017 and kind of when you start it up and when you start wrapping it up.
As far as the fishing end of it?
Yes.
Usually we'll get going. We should be ready to roll. We want to be ready to roll no later than June 1st. We'd like to get started in April if that fish wants to come up and bite. Fishing dictates when we're going to get going. But our main charter is going to be usually from the middle of June all the way through the end of October. That's mostly our charter season. But we'll go as long as we have to, and we'll start as early as the fish say we can go.
That's cool.
As long as they're interested, we'll roll.
Like you were saying, you try to get the boat buttoned up, ready to run early, like in January, so that if they show up, you can walk down to the boat, fire up, and go.
Ready to go. We want to go.
So if somebody like Gus wants to charter, he's never chartered your boat, but he wants to charter, should he call you now to kind of get in line?
Yeah, but like I say, I take care of the guys that have been with me for a lot of years first, and they'll pick out their dates. They're almost all in.
Okay.
We're probably like 75% already.
Okay.
And
you can give him a good idea of when he could get.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I have no weekends open from June to October as of right now.
Okay.
None.
Yeah.
They're all full.
Yeah.
So everything's going to dictate as far as that's going to be during the weekdays.
But you'll have an idea, hey, look, I'm probably going to have a couple days in July or whatever month it is, and I'll let you know, within short time so they can kind of start planning.
Yeah, usually it's real skinny in the first part of June, first part of July, and then it was really, as we keep running all the way through October, and a lot of guys have already dropped off by then. And October's been actually, obviously it's been good fishing.
Amazing.
And it's been that way for the last 10 years.
And also a good way to get your foot in the door and be part of that charter group. And
absolutely.
so then the following year, you're one of the first guys that's getting an opportunity.
Absolutely. We just.
So you take
How
care
many
of the guys
passengers do you like to take?
Anywhere from 15 to 17. We can carry up to 23, but I don't have any groups more than 20. But basically groups are 15 to 17 passengers.
Very nice. Gus, you better get on the phone.
Yeah, buddy.
I got it.
All right. Thanks a lot for the call this morning. Whenever I hear Gus's name, I think of salmon. And when I think of salmon, I think of Alaska. And we've talked about it. Our Let's Talk Hookup trips are updated on our website, hookup1090.com. 3 different opportunities to go to Alaska, but one I want to really bring special attention to because it's one of our newest destinations, or actually our newest destination in Alaska, and that's Katmai Lodge on the Alagnak River in Alaska. And you talk about bringing home a lot of salmon. You bring home sockeye, the red salmon, which is just unbelievable. And we're going prime sockeye season, chum season. You also bring home king salmon, catch them in the river there. It's an amazing experience. A lot of times people go, well, can I catch halibut? No, you're not going to catch halibut. But you know what? All the other stuff that Katmai offers is going to make up for not being on the ocean and not catching halibut because you've got, the wildlife, the bears, the eagles, the everything that Katmai has to offer. Being able to fly out to Brooks Falls, probably the most famous place to see bears and salmon interact in the world. You see it on the in National Geographic all the time.
You said that like all those major famous photos of the bears like on the rocks eating salmon, like virtually all of them are taken right there.
And it's an easy float train trip, 20-minute float plane trip from Katmai Lodge. You have a chance to catch trout as big as salmon up there, a giant trout,
so cool.
And whether you fly fish or conventional fish, it's an amazing experience. It is really unbelievable. We only have 4 spots left on that trip, and Harold Davis from Davis Boats is going to be joining us, and really going to be fun. It's a beautiful place. It's a great experience. If you're looking for the ultimate Christmas gift, that would certainly be one for any fisherman. And it's a great couple place. I mean, if you want to bring your wife, your significant other, somebody that doesn't fish, I can virtually promise you're going to have a great time. We took a group last year just like that, last July, and 80% of the people on the trip, including the husbands and wives, like whole couples that just go, well, you're going, I'm going.
Yeah, right.
And they went, and they came up to me at the trip, and they go, this is the best experience I've ever had in my life. And they never fished in their life before. So if you want to check out a trip that is truly exceptional, truly very, very different, Friday, July 14th to Wednesday, July 19th, Katmai Lodge. It's on our website, hookup1090.com. Come on, join us. You won't be sorry.
No doubt about that.
I promise you that.
All right, well, let's jump right back into the phones. They're packed up. Let's talk to Bruce, calling us from Lemon Grove this morning. Hi, Bruce. Welcome to Let's Talk Hookup.
Good morning, guys.
Hey,
Morning, Bruce.
Hey, Rick got the big trip coming up. I was wondering, what do you guys going to stop for the Wahoo on the way down, or is going to just make a beeline?
Well, fortunately we've got Captain Tim Ekstrom behind the wheel, and there's very few people in the world that are as good behind the wheel as that guy. So we're going to do what we do, and, he's going to take whatever opportunities there. And, traditionally, Alejos is an opportunity of a place to stop, but there's a lot of factors, weather and, boats that have been there previous and things like that. So we're just going to wait and see and hope for the best, and we'll see exactly how it goes. But, the beauty of a trip like this as a passengers, we don't have to do anything but sit back and relax, and when they tell us to fish, that's what we do.
That's so
It's
awesome.
pretty cool.
It is.
Well, I hope you get your personal best, and hope Bill does as well.
Yeah, me too. Bill Moore's gone with us a whole bunch of times, and I'm hoping Bill's probably the best. I'm going to say the best long-range fisherman that I know that does not have, not that that makes a bit of difference at all, but he's the best long-range fisherman that I know that doesn't have a 200-pounder.
Wow.
Who goes all the time.
What?
He goes all the time. He's been on every trip for years and years. Guy gets bit absolutely like crazy, a fantastic fisherman. One of those, just great guys, super fun, super friendly, super helpful. When guys don't know how to crimp things, he's the first guy to show them and hand them a gear. And that guy has so many 190s under his belt, but yet to have a cow. And this is the truth. I think he's going to skip right over and catch a 300-pounder.
Let's hope so, man.
That's just what I think is going to go down.
It just happens that way.
It is, man.
It is weird.
That'd be good. All right. Hey, thanks a lot for the phone call this morning. Speaking of which, Jim, okay, there's still some Wahoo around the ridge there. And
yeah.
Alejos and
in the rocks, yeah.
Is that an option on a long trip?
Oh,
like
absolutely.
That?
It's an open book on all these long trips. I mean, it is an open book on the way down, way back up, way inside.
Advantage of riding down.
Yeah, that's the advantage of riding down.
Yeah.
Our next trip is ride down, ride back, and that's the way it works sometimes. Other times it's we ride down flybacks. A lot of guys don't want to take the weather coming back up. And fortunately, I've only had really one out of the last 10 years tough trip coming back up as far as weather-wise. Everything else has been nice.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
knocking on wood. I mean, everybody else, there's been some beatings to be taken. But, no, it's going down. It's not unusual to go by the rocks, be down there on the, first couple of days and fish around there, see what's going on, catch some yellowtail, catch some wahoo, and then keep on going. Or go down the inside,
There's some serious catch-22 to the riding down, or the flying home and riding home. So the two best long-range trips I've ever been on my life, both of them we had exceptional stops on the way home. The way home from we had, one of them we had the best fishing you could imagine down below, and we were fishing down in the buffer zone. The boat was basically full. We did a 3-day anchor job, and the boat was basically full. We had room just for a little bit left, but the final morning of fishing, or our final full day of fishing, which we could have stayed and fished the following morning till about noon, there was only 8 guys that managed to be awake and fish. Everybody else was so tired and so worn out.
Enough is enough,
and
right?
Tim made this rad call of, rather than stay here until, the following morning and cut off everything except for maybe we'll squeeze one more 200-pounder in here, let's bail as soon as the sun sets, and we hopscotched our way home. And we fished big ones down below at the islands, and we came up, we fished the ridge, we caught some wahoo, we ended up at Cedros, caught some yellowtail, we went all the way up and caught, we just hopscotched and fished our way home and broke up the travel. Another time we had very, very good fishing down below, but on the ride home, I take it back, we had kind of tough fishing. We caught them, it was a plenty good trip, but then on our way home, we fished Alejos Rocks on the way home and just had the best wahoo fishing I've ever seen in my lifetime. But, you've also got an opportunity with tough ride, and it's very nice to fly home, too. So it's a catch-22 for sure. But given the opportunity, I'm flying home. Even as good as
well, the cool thing is that you and Tim arrive in Cabo San Lucas the day we have our live broadcast with the Sports Fishing Association.
Absolutely.
And you'll be on the show live from the Pueblo Bonito Blanco right there on the beach in Cabo San Lucas on
very
December
good.
That was such a fun show last year. Just talking about all the cool things that Mexico has to offer, and then having literally just stepped right off the boat in Cabo and get to talk about it. I mean, fresh as fresh can be. It's going to be a really fun morning.
Pretty awesome.
Hey, when we come back, we got a lot more Let's Talk Hookup coming your way. More of your phone calls, another full hour. We got catch reports, great information. You stay tuned. It's Let's Talk Hookup on the Mighty 1090.
This is Rick Jensen with Sport Fishing Financial. I think most of you get that I'm a fisherman and work with the fishing community, but to understand exactly what Sport Fishing Financial does, ask yourself these 4 questions. First, do you really know how much money you'll need in order to retire comfortably? Next, do you know how much you'll have to save on a regular basis to reach that number? Do you have a process that includes a proven investment strategy and confidence that the money you save will grow? Last, do you have a plan for how to turn your savings into retirement income? If you don't have good answers to these questions, you're not alone, but you should, and I can make sure you do. In addition, if you own a business and currently provide or are planning on providing a retirement savings plan for yourself or your employees, we should really talk. We offer an outstanding variety of creative solutions that are sure to meet your needs.
Some of our listeners may feel overwhelmed. Others may believe they are already doing the best they can. In either case, I bet Rick can help. Set a time to meet with him and start planning for your personal or business investment success. Find Rick on the web at sportfishingfinancial.com or give him a call at 949-481-1807.
For local and long-range fishing, the Islander out of Fisherman's Landing is a favorite among seasoned or novice anglers. But Islander Charters is much more than great fishing. They also do incredible Guadalupe white shark diving trips as well as a schedule of kayak mothership trips. You need to check out the Islander on their website, islander-charters.com. The Islander is San Diego's leader when it comes to 2 to 5 day fishing. Watch the website for trips and adventures available. Experience the Islander difference. Visit islander-charters.com for all the details.
You've heard all about it. You know the anglers catching fish have it, so what's holding you back? It's a fact. FishDope.com really does help you catch more fish and burn less fuel. FishDope.com is the only fish finding service with a spotter plane along with a crew of top anglers on the water almost every day that report actual locations and catches. You can get daily catch reports from Point Conception to San Martin Island, 365 days a year. FishDope.com is for everyone, whether you have your own boat, fish on your friend's boat, or a sport boat. FishDope.com has online planning tools, moon phase, tides, hot bite icons, and more. So bottom line is, if you don't have FishDope.com, well, you're probably missing a lot of bites. Membership costs less than $50 of gas, and that's for the entire year. That's right, 1 year. What a bargain. Plus, use the special code to save $20 on a new FishDope.com membership. Check it out today. FishDope.com. Catch more fish, burn less fuel.
XEPRS 1090 AM Rosarito, Baja California.
You're listening to the home of the Aztecs.
He's gone. Touchdown, Aztecs.
San Diego sports leader, the mighty 1090.
This time of year, the fishing offshore is hit and miss. Some days you struggle, the other days you come home with your limit of yellowfin. Believe me, you never know. But unlike the unpredictability of fishing, you can always count on Ford F-Series pickups. America's best-selling trucks, 39 years and counting. One reason F-150 is so popular with fishermen is the high-strength military-grade aluminum body panels. Chevy, Dodge, and Toyota bodies will all eventually rust, but not F-150. Its body panels won't rust ever. That's pretty important for folks like us that launch boats on a regular basis. And F-150's revolutionary body is bolted to a solid steel frame to make it stronger, more capable, and more efficient than ever. When it comes to trucks, fishermen and fisherwomen can always rely on Ford. And right now is a great time to buy. Special incentives have just been announced. That means bigger savings and lower payments on F-150. Log on to their new website, buyfordnow.com, for all the details. That's buyfordnow.com. Then stop by your nearest San Diego County Ford dealer. They'll be glad to hook you up.
Yamaha's Why Wait for Spring Fall Sales event is here. For a limited time, eligible new 90 to 300 horsepower four-strokes include 6 years of warranty protection. And eligible new 2.5 to 75 horsepower four-strokes get you up to $600 in dealer credit. Reliability starts here. Yamaha. Offer ends November 22nd, 2016. Subject to change at any time. Other restrictions and conditions apply. Choice offered to Florida residents is a 36-month Yamaha limited warranty. See authorized participating Yamaha outboard dealers for details. This promotion cannot be used with any other Yamaha offer.
Alaska is one of the ultimate fishing destinations in the world. This is Rock Cod Rick, and every year the one trip I look forward to is Kingfisher Charters in Sitka, Alaska. My dad and I have been going for over 15 years, and I just can't wait to go again. No one does it better than Kingfisher Charters. They offer the best service, the most comfortable accommodations, fantastic food, the finest fishing charter captains in all of Sitka, and the ultimate value. Sure, I've been to others, but time and time again, nobody beats Kingfisher Charters. You can catch huge halibut like the ones we do almost every
every year. And salmon, well, Sitka is famous for some of the best runs in Alaska. We also get plenty of rockfish and huge lingcod. And when it comes to fish processing, the best in Alaska is Kingfisher Charters. And listen to this, it's all included in your package. In fact, everything is included except the tips. It's truly amazing how the Kingfisher crew continues the quality of service they deliver year after year. Come and join me on the Let's Talk Hookup trip in June, or just go when you can. Kingfisher Charters, 800-727-6136, or check kingfishercharters.com.